Basically, I put down the two center lines. These corners have to be as square as you can get them. For a little arch like this, you can use a square to sort that out. But up on the floor, it's going to be really big. It's over 11 feet, the long, and the short will be about 7.5 feet. So rather than use a square, I'm going to use a 3-4-5 method. So what I'll be doing up there is have a reference line at the top. And if you're not familiar with 3-4-5, then one side is 3 feet, one is 4 feet, or any units of measurement, and then to join them should be 5, and that makes a square corner. I'm going to times it by 4, so I'm going to do this will be the 4 foot side, times 4 will make it 16. Yeah. So the 4 side will be 16 feet. I'm just doing rough markings here. This will be the 3 side, times 4 will be 12 feet. I'll put a nail in here, whoop, and scribe it at 12 feet. Let's say it's like that. And then I'll put a nail in here, and this should be 5, times it by 4 will be 20, and I'll scribe at 20. And where they cross, I can put a line straight up to this point, and now this line and that line are perfectly square. And then from there I will measure down, use that as a reference to get the center line for that. This side I'll measure off that to get this center line. Once the center line's done, it's 11 foot 2 is the big one I'm doing. But this one, let's suppose it's 24 inches. Then you would mark 24 on the long axis. I'm going to do it from the center point, so that's 12 inches that way, 12 inches that way. And if that is, I don't know, 16, it's going to be 7 foot 5 on my real one. 16, half of that is 8 inches. So you mark that, and that's the actual size of the ellipse you want. Now to draw it, you measure this, which as we know is already 12 inches, from the center to the long side, 12 inches. Put a nail in here, gone, and I'm just going to cheat on this. Put that long axis at an angle till it crosses. There it is, 12 inches. Same on this side. Those are the focal points. And now you can put a nail in each one of those. I'm going to put a nail in the end. This nail can go on the long axis or on the short axis. It works exactly the same way. Now you get a length of string, tie it around. You want roughly double the length of the long axis. That's the rough measurement. And it goes around the focal points to either this nail, if you have one here, or this nail, if you got that one. It works exactly the same both ways. Tie it very tight. This string is polypropylene. It has very little stretch in it, which is quite important. The more it stretches, the more it distorts and messes up the shape of your ellipse. The one I'm doing, the main one, 11 foot 2, it takes almost 20 feet, in fact more than 20 feet of string. So no matter what string I use, it's going to stretch. To solve that problem, I'm going to use not aircraft cable, but picture hanging cable. It virtually eliminates the stretching problem. Once you pull it straight to get the kinks out, then it's very stable. It's only about $3 for 25 feet. Once that is done, then whatever nail you've got it tied around, pull out the end one only. Leave the 2 focal point nails in, and it goes something like this. Just draw with a string. Oops, a crack in the plywood there. And you can see just by little discrepancies in how I hold it, it can twist like this. It can cause a bit, so one thing is to, however you hold the pencil, make sure you do that the same all the way around. Yeah. This crack is deceiving me. But that's basically how you get the ellipse. And I'm going to draw, when I do the big one, I'll do a practice one on the floor first. Then I'll just lay the plywood over it till it's all covered, and then I'll do it again, holding it as careful and stable as I can with even tension. Once that's cut, the plywood is going to be nailed down, sheets of plywood everywhere till it's done. Nailed down. I'll cut out the first ring, and then I'll mark each center point on it, on the plywood while it's nailed in place. It's very important. And then I'm going to rough cut about 4 inches around it, a secondary cut. This one doesn't have to be as accurate. Then I'll take those away, put them down, have them marked which piece is which, because it's going to be made out of about 4 different pieces because it's so big. 4 pieces of plywood. Then I'll reset all the plywood cut-offs and cut a secondary arch because I want 2 layers of this plywood, and that's what I'll use to make it. Later, if you look at remember on the plan, there is a post about here somewhere on the floor. I have to make a matching post over here, and then there's going to be a curved wall between it. So this diagram shows where the ceiling goes. All this will be regular drop ceiling. Here's that post I showed you. There'll be another one here with a curved wall around it. And this portion of the ceiling is going to have a large ellipse that will be recessed about 3 inches. I don't want to do just a round wall with a single radius point, but I want it elliptical to follow the parallel of this. That means once I've got those drawn in accurately in relation to this, I'll decide on how far away I want it. And on this example, let's say I want it 6 inches. Then I will add 6 inches to all the axis points. Then I will use that same method. There, in this case it's 18 from the new axis point. Reset my focal points. And then reset the string, and now I can have a parallel ellipse through there. And I'll lay plywood over those drawers once I've drawn it on the floor. Lay plywood down, and I'll cut out 2 plates to build a rounded wall with. Okay. Hopefully that explains what will be missed in the poor sound quality when I do the real one.